Ethan Hunt is back, and Tom Cruise is still running like his life depends on it. The world is once again on the edge of exposition. Let's talk about the final reckoning of this death-defying franchise. Smash that like button like Tom Cruise smashes through glass windows, and subscribe to appease the algorithm gods, or I'll send the entity after you. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, picks up in the aftermath of Dead Reckoning, plunging Ethan Hunt into his most personal and convoluted mission yet. As a mysterious doomsday cult threatens global catastrophe via a rogue AI-powered submarine, Ethan must reunite his team and face old ghosts. Flashbacks reveal secrets from the franchises while a new operatic villain aims to reset the world. Explosions, betrayals, and McGuffins galore. So I have to admit, I haven't watched all the Mission Impossible movies, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. I remember watching the first one on VHS when it first came out when I was in high school. Yes, I'm that old. I never watched part 2, the one directed by John Woo, because I just never heard anything good about it. And I know Dougray Scott, it cost him the role of Wolverine in the X-Men movie. That guy probably doesn't like it either. The third one, directed by J.J. Abrams, I did catch it on cable, and I thought it was pretty good. It's Philip Seymour Hoffman. What's not to like about that? I did watch Ghost Protocol a few years ago in the attempt to watch the whole franchise, but it just stopped at Ghost Protocol. Sorry. And I did not see Rogue Nation or Fallout. But I did see Dead Reckoning, and I really liked Dead Reckoning. And really, that's about the only one you need to watch to get into this movie, because it's basically the first half of this movie. And this, since this is the final one, it's got a bunch of flashbacks in it. And I'm pretty familiar with the history, so I don't think I'm missing too much. Let's talk about the good first. Why do we watch these movies? Because they're pretty thrilling. There's actual stunts. Tom Cruise trying to fucking kill himself every other movie. And they are thrilling. Like, I was watching it with my wife, and during the airplane scene in this film, she just took her hand and wiped it on my hand just to show me how moist her hand is from watching this. And I had the same feeling too. It's pretty exhilarating watching these real stunts, especially in a time where everything is like CGI. People that they put into those action scenes seem weightless, like they're not really there. Another one was the whole submarine sequence where he gets discovered by a whole crew in a submarine, and the head of it is Tramell Tillman, who plays Mr. Milchek in Severance, which is funny because it seems like they're plucking actors from these popular shows. They have the lady from Ted Lasso. We're going to get Mr. Milchek from Severance and put him in our movie. And probably as actors, they probably feel like they really made it being in a big budget Tom Cruise movie. But Tramell Tillman, man, he's got a presence. That dude's a fucking movie star. Like, I can see him being a big deal in the future. Definitely. He was awesome in his small role. And it's cool seeing like the whole crew and everything. You also had Katie M. O'Brien from Love Lies Bleeding. She was part of the crew. Almost reminded me of Vasquez from Aliens, her role in it. And that all leads to, from the Dead Reckoning, the opening is basically the AI in the submarine that crashed. Tom Cruise is gonna get the thing that kills it. This movie's full of McGuffins, all right? So that whole sequence was awesome. It was fantastic. It was nerve-wracking. And I watched it in IMAX, and as he turns the wheel to open the door, the IMAX screen kind of widens like that. It was great. So I have to give it to Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise. They really bring it on with some of the best action scenes in films today. And I don't want to spoil anything for the movie, but they do bring back a small character from one of the most iconic scenes from the first Mission Impossible, which I really liked. It was, as someone who's the most familiar with that first one, that was a pretty nice callback, really, to even bring that character in, and then just having them be a fully fledged character throughout the rest of the movie. Now, I did say I watched Dead Reckoning and I enjoyed it quite a bit. There was a lot of sequences in it that I really enjoyed. They were just expertly done. But this movie did not live up to Dead Reckoning at all. The first hour of this was just exposition. Just constant exposition, explaining what's happening, what they're doing, what's going to happen when they do it. And I was just, like, I was hyped for a Mission Impossible. You got that Mission Impossible intro, dun, 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 dun. And then it's just, that's exposition leading up to that and exposition after that. And I was just like, what is going on here? But it does pick up, like, I think it's probably 45-minute hour mark where Ethan Hunt, like, gives himself up. And boy, they make you know that this is the last movie with how many flashbacks they have. Like, it's almost like a clip show on a TV show and some of this stuff. It's wild. And man, one thing I really noticed about this is that it's so overdramatic and it takes itself way too seriously. Yeah, Mission Impossible was from the 90s. The first one came out in 96, but it's like one of those cheesy 90s action movies where they see something happening and then they just go like and slowly rise out of their seat. And oh man, there's this one character who has this one line, and it's a serious line. It's like, that son of a bitch really did it. And I was just like, come on, man. Like, I just can't take that stuff serious. It just takes me out. So it's an AI, and they set up the beginning of the movie. It's pretty interesting because it's almost like the AI, and it's like today where things online influence people mentally. We've evolved to the point where technology is out evolving us and our brains can't make up shit from Shinola. So there was a Doomsday Cult in this, and they set it up. I'm like, ooh, a Doomsday Cult. I like this. And it's basically people who are working for the AI. The AI has influenced their minds, and they formed a cult to bring upon the extermination of humanity. And they do nothing with it. There's a couple of moments in the movie where someone gives this kind of look like he's part of the Doomsday Cult. One where he's going to attack Tom Cruise on the submarine, and another one like trying to kill the president. And it's just, yeah, it's just what? I'm like, he could have done so much more with this part of the movie. A fucking Doomsday Cult that's influenced by AI. That sounds awesome. I want to see that movie. And Shia Wiggum, I love the dude. I enjoy him in this movie. But they do something with this character that makes a connection to the first movie that was just pointless. It reminded me of the Spider-Man movies. Every villain has to have a connection to Spider-Man. Why? It didn't need, this character moment didn't need to happen. And another thing is, like, the villains are kind of lame in this. You have Gabriel. I don't mind Gabriel, but he's basically a freaking mook, right? Like, he's working for the AI, but he's trying to get ahead of the AI. And the AI is the main villain. And the AI is just AI. It's like, how they show the AI is like something you would see in a 90s or 2000s picture. And it just didn't have that connection of what they were fighting against, what they were fighting for. And that brings me to lacking like a connection to the side characters. I don't know if because I missed a lot of these movies that I don't have an affinity for a lot of the side characters in this, but I just didn't care. There's like too many. They didn't do anything that made me really care. Basically, exposition, explain to me what's going to happen, why it needs to happen, what's going to happen, what they need to beat, and some of them get shot, some of them die, and I just, I don't care. If you fill your movie with just a ton of exposition, then you don't really give any characters moments to breathe or anything. And the plot, it's get the McGuffin, put it in the McGuffin so it can McGuffin. I just didn't have anything to latch on to with the villains or the side characters. I was there basically for the stunts and the cool ass set pieces. So overall, I have to give Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning a 2.5 out of 5. I didn't hate it. I had a good time with a lot of the parts. I love the set pieces in it. It's got Cruise, it's got scale, but The Final Reckoning couldn't finish the mission for me. It's a film torn between spy spectacle and lore dumping, and while it's got its moments, the emotional connection just isn't there. If you're a diehard fan, you'll find things to love. If not, this might be a mission you choose not to accept. And I liked Dead Reckoning. I mean, it didn't have any like of those set pieces like the airport scene in it or like the Italian car chase scene. It just didn't reach that bar for the first half of this second part of this movie. But what did you think of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning? Was it because I didn't follow the franchise for so long, or do I actually have some points? Let me know if you think I'm wrong. Also, how would you rank the Mission Impossible movies? Let me know down below. Make sure to appease the algorithm, guys, and give this video a like. Maybe subscribe if you like these movie reviews. I also have a full playlist of movie reviews below, so maybe check those out too. And I'll see you later. Bye.